first thing we need to do that was listed in the course is make sure your Google Drive is authenticated with your Canvas account. So to do that, we're going to go up here to the top left corner and click on your account, and then go down to settings. From here, you may have to scroll down a little bit, and when you do, you may see that Google Drive is not listed over here on the left, so I'm going to take mine off. So notice how Google Drive is over here on the right. If it's over here on the right, then you have not registered Google Drive with your Canvas account. What we're going to do is we're going to authorize it, and it's going to be applied across everywhere in Canvas. You only have to do this one time, and then you're done. So when you click on it, click on Google Drive on the right. You can click where it says Authorize Google Drive Access. It's going to open your new tab. Select your GCS account and click Allow. And now we see it over here on the left under Registered Services. So again, if that was too fast for you, we have screenshots with step-by-step directions and a video of that. So make sure you've got Google Drive as a registered service. Okay, now there are a couple things in this course we looked at, or this module that we're looking at today, the Google and Canvas module. Now, we cover YouTube, how to get that into Canvas, how to get Google Forms, how to get Google Documents, and then the big question everybody wants to know is the Google in Assignments. We're going to do Google in Assignments last, but when we do YouTube, Google Documents, and Google Forms, all three of those, you can just hyperlink. So that's always an option. You can just hyperlink something. I'm going to show that once, and that applies for everything, and then we're going to dive into the really nuts and bolts and meat with the YouTube app and embedding a Google document and that sort of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to actually jump over to my sandbox, and I have a lot of stuff in here. I just need to shrink all these because I've got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, we'll use this one. All right, so I'm going to just create a random page for right now. You can clearly keep naming everything example. Here we go again. Example, again, with links. Okay. There we go. Now, that's not the one at all, is it? Okay. So when you open up anywhere in Canvas that you have this screen that you can edit things, this is called the Rich Content Editor. You are going to see this when I just created a page. When you are in discussions, announcements, assignments, anywhere you see this screen, and I have that toolbar, and I can type everything here, this is the Rich Content Editor. So everything I'm showing you today, you can do no matter where you are if you see this sort of box for typing and editing, okay? With the exception of the assignment stuff, that stuff is very specific to assignments only, okay? So everything I'm going to show you, you can do everywhere. Almost everywhere, I should say. So if you have anything on the internet, it can be a YouTube video, it can be a Google Doc, it could be like today's presentation. You grab that link, and you come back to Canvas, and there are two options that you have. When you click this link icon, you can do external links and course links. Course links are things that you're linking to the course. So that's not what we're doing right now. We're linking something that's outside of Canvas. So course links are when you're going to want to select, like I'm going to link to this page or whatever it may be. But for our example, we're linking a YouTube video, a Google Doc, a Google slide, anything, an article, a website, doesn't matter. You click external link and put in that link, and you might want to have some text there. So look at this Google slide. You definitely type slower when people are watching, don't you? And then click done. The alternative is if I was to say, check out this Google slide presentation. Alternative is I could have just selected and then done the external link. So it's the same either direction that you want to do. One thing that I didn't do in here that I like to point out is you may have a student that uses a screen reader. If you happen to have students that have screen readers, you are going to want to make sure that when you have a hyperlink, you write the word hyperlink. What that does is it tells a person with a screen reader that there's a link there. Otherwise, if you don't do that, it's just going to keep reading the screen and they're not going to know that there was a link there. The word hyperlink will tell this person who's using a screen reader to stop and click that link. So keep that in mind. So that's how to do a hyperlink. In the course, in the module, we show you if you were to use a link for a YouTube video. And I'm going to go ahead and go to YouTube because I'm going to need it anyways. I'm just going to grab this. Let's do periodic table. I always do periodic table. Oops, and we're going to have an advertisement. Okay, so you can do a couple things with a YouTube video, and one of them is, how many advertisements am I going to have? There we go. Okay. So with it, I can grab this link like I did anything else on the internet. And one little interesting thing, if you're going to grab a link from a YouTube video, I like to not type text because watch what happens if I just do the link. It was not very pretty. But this little box right here, I like it because what it does is it gives a little tiny thumbnail that when they click on it, it plays. And it's got a minimize button here at the bottom, so they minimize it when they're done. I sometimes like that because if I have a lot of information on that screen, I want to make like a little mini YouTube video like this in the corner somewhere, and they can make it big when they watch it, but I've got a lot of other stuff on the page. So that's just one thing that you could do, and we cover that in the module. There's a way that we didn't cover in the module, and that is embedding. And everything I'm showing you right now, everyone kind of has a different preference for. Some people like to just do a link for YouTube videos, or some people like to use the app, or some people like to embed. I personally never use the embed button, but some people do. So you can use the embed button where you click the share button of a YouTube video, click embed, and get this code. Come back over to Canvas. This is the weird part. I really wish they had like an embed icon on the toolbar, because that's where my brain goes, is where's my embed icon? I have a link icon. Where's my embed icon? For now, unless Canvas updates, it's right here under this button here. Looks like a little video button and a music note. When you click on that and say upload, that's where you find embed. It's not really intuitive for now. Maybe they'll give us an embed icon later. And that's where you put in your embed code. If you're a person who likes to use the embed code, some people like it because right here is where they can change the width and the height. And this is where they can change different things, like at what point do you want the video to start, and you can mess with the code of this. So some people like using the embed code. We didn't show that in the course. So that's another way you can do it. Now, the way that I personally like to do it is using the app. Go on your toolbar. At the very end of your toolbar, you can see in here at the end, whoops. You can see in here at the end, I've got this looks like a little plug icon. If you don't see it, you might have to click the 3 dots and it'll show you the rest of your tools on the toolbar. You can click apps, and let me zoom back out for you. And you can scroll down and select YouTube. I like using this option. It's going to do it, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, this is the perfect case in point. So this is an app, right? It's not built into Canvas. So it's an app that we've added. Sometimes it does this and it goes white. That's okay. I just X out and I do it again. Let's see if it does it to me twice. Looks like it's going to do it to me twice today. Catherine, you might have to get yours ready if if it decides to not play friendly with me. This sometimes happens. Seems to happen to me more than most people. Might also be because there it goes. Nope. All right, Catherine, I might need you to share your screen since mine is not wanting to load the app.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, I'll give it one last try. Usually doesn't take more than twice. I wonder if it's because I took off my YouTube. Probably because I took off my Google authentication and then turned it back on. Yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing and let you share and show how to do the app.
Okay, so all right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
I have to go to another window. Okay, so you can see my canvas now.
Yeah.
Okay, yay. So Heather was over here. So this is the rich content editor. So more, and Heather clicked the outlet plug and YouTube. There it is. Heather, what do you want me to search for?
Periodic table, or ancient Egypt. You always do Egypt.
I always do
ancient. And I always do periodic table.
Sean always does water cycle. Okay. So you can just search for your topic here, and you can like get a preview. I would honestly, if it was me, I would go to YouTube and find the video that I want and preview it.
Yes.
And then come here so that you make sure that you're getting the right video and that it's appropriate. And then you can click this little.
Yeah, I like to use the drop down arrow.
Me too. And then it's personal preference. I think I usually do medium.
Yeah, I do too.
Because I think it's a good size.
And I also feel like it depends on what I'm doing. Like sometimes I'll create like a table with like all these little mini videos, like as extra additional resources. But sometimes it's a video that I made or something, and I want it to be like the main thing on the page. And so I make the video big because this page is dedicated to you watching this video. Mm-hmm. So yeah, exactly. Personal preference. Good point. Okay, so let's see.
It's all yours now.
Sometimes Google doesn't. Sometimes it does that to my account. And it does it when I'm training. Now, can you see my screen again?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, awesome. All right. So that's the YouTube videos. And that's the YouTube app. Now, the other thing we can do is we're going to jump straight into using like Google Documents. Now, I just created this like random one. Example. Now, this can be a Google Doc, slide, sheet, drawing. If it's Google, you can do it. If you got a link to it, if it's in your drive and you have a link to it, you can do what what I'm getting ready to do. So this is just my example document that I have. I could click share and get that link and go put it in anywhere in Canvas that I see that rich content editor. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to embed it. What's really cool about embedding is that, let me explain it this way. I have a teacher who chatted me this morning, and she said, how do I copy and paste my syllabus in a Google Doc and put it into Canvas? And I told her, that might make you work harder in the end, because what if she decides 2 days from now she wants to make changes to that syllabus, and she's already copied and pasted it into 3 different courses in Canvas? She now has to go to every single course and make that one change because maybe she found a typo or something. The beauty of a Google Doc or anything that's Google like this that you can embed into Canvas is I can make changes and they're just going to appear in Canvas, okay? So if you already have it made, just embed it. It also helps keep the kids kind of within Canvas. And that's kind of nice because they don't exit and go out to somewhere and then have to come back to Canvas to keep going with the module. So this kind of keeps them in one place and they can just continue through. A lot of people like to embed their slides like this. and that way the kids can click through it. Okay, so we're going to embed it over here. And again, we're going to use an app. So over here at the end, click your little plug. And we have two things in here, Google Apps and Google Drive. That's confusing because they seem like they will both work. Here's the thing. They both work. There's nothing wrong with that. They both work. It's okay whichever one you click. You're not going to break anything. This could be kind of like personal preference. Google Apps is not going to change the share settings for you. So if you click Google Apps and it pops up a screen, it doesn't look like Google. It's kind of gray and white, and the searching for it is not a Google search. So sometimes people have a hard time searching for their files. And it's just going to embed it the same way as Google Drive. But you have to remember to come over here and change the share settings yourself. I'm going to show you the other one, Google Drive, because it's going to change that share setting for you so you don't forget. This window pops up and you click select a file. Now notice this window, I'm going to make it big so you can maybe see it. Notice this window looks exactly like everything Google that we're used to, right? It's got recent, and you can look at your shared drives and your upload and my drive. I can search for things. Everything just looks so pretty, I guess. And when I go searching for something, for that random, I'll do it without the stars, random example, it's going to bring up a Google search. The other one brings up, I don't really know how it searches. It doesn't always seem to get the right documents that I'm looking for. So I can click on it and click add. Now here's what I love about this one. It gives you this message saying you are about to attach something and we're going to change the share settings for you. So when you click attach, share settings are changed for you. You don't have to remember that. And there's your document within the page or the discussion or the announcement or whatever it may be. I'm going to come back over to this assignment. I'm going to refresh it just in case I need to. I'm going to click share up here and look at this. Now you guys were watching me. I never clicked share. I never changed the settings, and it changed it for me. Anyone on the internet with the link can view. That's what it did to my document. It changed it for me to anyone with the link can view. Now that doesn't mean that someone on the internet, John Billy Bob, can't come on here and try to search for my file. He has to have the link to my file in order to actually view it. It also makes it view access so that no one can edit it. Your students will not be editing this. And now remember, what we're looking at right now is not assignments. We're looking at anywhere else in Canvas that you want to put a Google document, a Google slide, anything like that. You can, of course, come in here and change this to anyone in Gaston County can view if you want to. That's personal preference if you want to. So there's one more thing I love about this. I'm in edit mode, so I'm going to save it for a second. I love that here on my page, the way that it just looks and stretches everything out. The link takes everybody out. A link will take people outside, okay? So I feel like this makes it look like Google and Canvas are playing nicely together. Everything just looks smooth, and the kids are going to be used to seeing their Google documents here. And it just looks really nice. So I love embedding a Google document. So that's embedding a Google document. Another thing we're going to look at is we're going to skip to Google Forms. I'm going to go through Google Forms. I'm not going to do the link part, but I'm going to do the embed part. And we're going to look at how to do a Google form as an assignment. Now, what I'm going to do with this assignment, you can also just put a Google form on a page if it was like a little survey, or if it was in your announcement or something. You can use that app button we just did to embed it. But I'm going to specifically focus on a Google form as an assignment. If you have any questions of what we've done so far, put something in the chat so that Catherine can catch you up to speed. I don't want you to feel like you got left behind or anything. So put something in the chat if what we've covered so far has been confusing or you have any questions. All right, so we're going to do Google Forms. I'm going to go create no, I already have a form. What's my example? I call everything example. I need to probably stop doing that. Example quiz. What I called it? Yeah, there's a good chance I called it example quiz. It's my ice cream quiz. Okay. So my Google form. That's where I can get my link. So sorry, I probably went way too fast. Sorry. Open your Google form and you click send, and that gives you this link right here. But there's also an embed code. I like using the embed code because I like to change like what the size of it may be and kind of stretch it out to fit a little bit better. So I'm going to grab the embed code for this because linking we've already showed you how to do. So I'm going to grab this embed code because I want my students to complete my ice cream quiz as an assignment, and I want to give it a grade. So over in Canvas, I'm going to create this ice cream quiz. And remember, it doesn't have to be a quiz. It could be a survey. It could be anything that you're using with Google Forms. I'm just using a quiz as an example that I want to give a grade for. Okay, so I've got my embed code. With this assignment and with every assignment, we always suggest that you give a lot of good information and details to your students. The reason being is that over the years, we've heard a lot of information from students, and our students have said things like, my teacher posts everything in Google Classroom, and it would be really helpful if she listed out all the details. Like, what exactly am I supposed to be doing? What exactly do I need to turn in? Trying to stay concise, but listing out very specific details is what we've kind of heard from kids over the years. So in the course, the Google and Canvas module, I tried to model that for you. So for example, starting with here's an overview or linking back to previous pages of the module and maybe including your I can statement. Having a section with the actual directions and giving them a section of here's what you need to submit or here are the steps to submit. So in this example, you would write complete the Google form on this page and click submit on the Canvas screen. And the other assignments we're going to do with Google in a minute, this is probably vital that you are very specific for the kids because this is going to be so new to them. You need to write out exactly click this, click this, click this. But also try to be concise and not overload them with too much information on a page. Okay. So pretend like on my little example that I have all these like awesome directions and information for kids. Pretend like it's there. Now I'm going to embed. Remember when I showed you the YouTube video, how to embed that? You're going to go to the same location. If you're a person who knows how to use HTML and go down there into the raw HTML editor, you have at it. You go for it. But you can also just go this way. So upload and record media, embed, and I can put in my code and submit. And there is my Google form built into Canvas. Like, that makes me so excited because I already have all these things made in forms and I don't have to recreate them. So I've got my awesome directions. I've got my Google form embedded. Remember the differences. If it was a link, they'd have to exit it, do the Google form, come back to Canvas. This is just really nice and clean. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. And everything else from here is the same. So I've got my points. The big difference, if you use a Google form as an assignment, is to change your submission type. Now, if you forget to do this, that's no problem whatsoever. It's just to help you so that, or really to help students, if you leave this as like online text entry, you're going to have probably some kids that type in there and think that they need to submit something. Or if you leave it as a file upload, you might have kids trying to turn stuff into you. It's just helpful if you turn it to no submission or even on paper. It doesn't matter, either one, because where are they submitting? On the Google form. The Google form is where they actually answered the questions and turned it in. You're going to go look at the Google form to look at the responses, either on the response spreadsheet or on the actual response tab in Google Forms. So you're going to, this is just helpful so that they don't think that they need to turn something in. And also to prevent you probably from getting like 10 questions of, what am I supposed to turn in? So leave it as on paper or no submission. Either one is the same. And then you scroll down here and you can set all of your usual things. And you can click save or save and publish. I'm going to click publish just for a second. Okay. And you can use SpeedGrader with this. But really, another question I also get a lot from people with this one is, if I can do this, why did I not just put a Google form on a page? The reason being, for you to put it in an assignment, is so that you can give it a grade, right? So if you put it on a page, you can't give them a grade for it in Canvas. You can grade it in the form, and then when they come to see you on Monday, you can say, Johnny, you got this, and Susie, you got this. You could do that. But if you want the grade to appear here in Canvas, then put a Google form as an assignment. Hopefully that's not too confusing. A lot of people think I have a quiz in a Google form, therefore I need to go over here and click quizzes, and I need to, okay, so just remember, Google form, put it in an assignment, and that way you can put a grade in Canvas, okay? Hopefully that helps. If you've got any questions on that, put something in the chat. That gives us 23. Oh, yes, I hear somebody.
Sorry, that's me. Will you just show that button of how, where you added the form in Canvas? Not necessarily the whole process, but just the like.
A little button.
Yeah.
Okay. You are going to, I'm going to zoom in too. On this toolbar, I really wish they had a better button for this, but it looks like a little YouTube video and a music note. You click that and click Upload Record Media, which is confusing because we have a Google form and we're thinking it's not really a recording or anything. This window pops up and you click Embed. And then you can paste in your code, okay? I know that's confusing, and I have submitted a complaint to Canvas to say, can't you just give us see this little icon down here? That's like the embed, like a code icon. I've submitted a complaint and said, can you put one of those on the toolbar? And then it just pops up a box that says like embed, because digging down into that was, I think that's confusing. So hey, maybe we'll get an update soon. That'd be nice. After school starts, not before school starts. So we've got 21 minutes left. And that gives us lots of time to focus on Google assignments. Okay. So let's jump over, go back out here to assignments. All right. You've got 3 ways to do this. And this gets kind of confusing. And I can honestly tell you it's personal preference. I think it also kind of comes down to the way that you possibly do your assignments and how you like to structure your class. So, for example, I was meeting with a teacher 2 days ago, or what day of the week is it? And we were talking about the way all of her assignments were last year and the way, like the type of assignments that she likes to do. A lot of her stuff is just Google Docs, and she has a lot of stuff gets written on a piece of paper or in their notebooks. So we talked about maybe Google assignments isn't really going to be what she needs. So I encourage you to message your ITF and have a conversation with them and say, here's the assignments that I have. Here's the things that I did in Google Classroom. Which one of these is going to really probably work for me? Because it really kind of comes down to you, personal preference. And I think it really ends up kind of being the way you structure your assignments. I also have a teacher yesterday that was saying, so one of the ones we're going to look at, this one, the Google Drive Cloud assignment, doesn't let you use the rubric, the Canvas rubric. So she was saying, I already have she has these little tiny cards with the rubrics on it that she checks off. She's a Spanish teacher, and she like checks off the different boxes of these like little paper rubrics, and she hands them out to the kids when they come in every day. So she was like, I don't care if I can't use that rubric. I have a paper rubric, so I want to do that. So this chart, I would refer to that and have a conversation with your ITF. Because honestly, I keep changing my mind about which one I like. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is the copy a URL. We're going to force the URL to make a copy. Some people have asked me which one is the easiest. I would say maybe this one, but I don't know. I kind of feel like, I don't know. They all have a lot of buttons. So we're going to look at the URL first. So I'm going to take well, let's just use this. Actually, okay. So you're going to go over to your document in your Drive. Now, anything I'm getting ready to do, remember, it applies to anything that you have a shared button to in your Google Drive. I can't say anything, but almost anything. And so docs, sheets, slides, drawings. If it's a PowerPoint, you can't do a copy with the PowerPoint. I had that question the other day. You can embed a PowerPoint, like we were doing earlier, how we embedded Google Documents. Can't make a copy of it. Put a question in the chat if you have a specific question about something you want to make a copy of, and Catherine can help you. So you're going to open your document and click that share button. This one's already been changed to anyone with a link can view, but you would have to click this button down here and select, first of all, you're going to have to make sure it's not private to you. So change it to Gaston County can view or anyone with the link can view. Change who can view it because they cannot make a copy if they cannot view it. Make sure they can view it, and then we're going to do the whole copy situation. So have this window open, click copy link, and then come back to Canvas, and we're going to create an assignment. So, oops. So copy of Canvas training slides. Or, well, no. We're doing assignment. All right, so again, remember from earlier, oh, I already changed screen, sorry. Remember from earlier, you've got all those amazing directions here, and you're being very clear and specific on what a student needs to do. In all three of these examples, you really need to list out the exact steps. So for this one, the first thing we're going to do in our directions, or somewhere at the beginning in our directions, is we're going to tell the students, get your copy of the assignment or whatever it may be here. Remember to write the word hyperlink if you've got any kids who have screen readers. And we're going to do a link. Now here's a little trick. Don't click done. Don't do it. Come all the way in here, and you see all this nonsense? Look at the very end. See the word edit? I want you to delete the word edit and everything after it. So, but don't delete the slash. Make sure you keep that in there. So we took out the word edit. This is what the end of our URL should look like. And you're going to write the word copy. This is going to force them to get their own copy. And then click done. Okay, so I've put the directions in here, blah, 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 super great directions. Get your copy of the assignment here. You're then going to tell them to click the make a copy button. That is the next thing that they're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this for a second. Oh, I hate when it does that. Let me save it. Oh, and I have to select the due date. Goodness. Okay, I'm going to show you what it looks like to a kid. So they click this, and they click the make a copy button. So tell the kids to click and make a copy. So I told them that that's their next step. Now I'm trying to be quick because it's just a live training, but I would make this prettier probably with like bullets and maybe, or a numbered list, like here are your step-by-step directions. So click to make a copy. When they make a copy, it's going to name the file copy of blah, blah, blah. Some teachers, I'd say me, are OCD. I'm OCD. I would tell a kid to come up here and change the words copy of and have them write their name where it says copy of. That does nothing really. It doesn't matter, honestly, at all when they turn it into you. That just helps me. Maybe when I'm looking through all the documents, maybe depending on the way I want to grade them, I just want to see all of their names at the top, or put something on the document where they could write their name. Especially our middle schoolers, get them to practice writing their name and stuff. Okay. So you could, if you want to, personal preference, write your name on the assignment. That's something they would need to do. And then they're going to open this assignment and they are going to attach their file, okay? So we need to set that up. So far, we wrote these amazing directions. We got a copy link of the document. And we hyperlinked it here. We're going to come down in the assignment, give it points, do all the normal, usual stuff. But here is another important trick. Submission type. You need to select online, and you need to select file upload. Don't use website URL. By default, your brain might think, okay, well, they're going to give me the document, so I need the URL. Do a file upload. That's going to give them, let me show you the little screenshot of a kid's screen. On their screen, this is what they get when you select file upload. See how they can choose a file? That means if they're on a Chromebook, it's going to go to their drive. They select the file, you're good. Or they click Google Drive, select the file, they're good. Okay? So select, when you make your assignment, file upload. So if you're using this option, change the hyperlink to copy, and submission type is file upload. Set everything else that you want to set and click save and publish or anything like that. And so that is maybe the easiest one of the three. It's completely up to you. Now the other two, some people think that they're harder because you're using an app or an external tool really. So I'm going to show you those two. And remember, there's pictures and videos for this if you get lost. We're recording this today, and I encourage you to ask your ITF to have a chat with you and figure out what works best for you. Okay. We're going to do, let's do the Google Drive Cloud one. We're going to do that one first. Okay, this one. We're going to have all our amazing directions. Here's the thing. Our first thought is I'm going to give everybody a copy of my document and they want to go over here to the apps. and click it and do like we did before, where we select Google Apps or Google Drive. Remember, that only embeds something on this screen. Maybe you need to embed something. Maybe you do need to embed like the Google Slides or something for them to look at. That's fine. But if you want to give them a copy, think of it the way Google Classroom was. A title at the top, a box with directions, and then you attached at the bottom, right? So think that same concept. Titles up here at the top, directions in the middle, and then scroll down. Scroll down to attach your documents. So we're using, again, something that we've plugged in to Canvas. So your submission type is external tool. We're using an external tool to make this work. So external tool and click find, and you will see your two options, Google Drive Cloud Assignment and Google Assignments. Google Drive Cloud Assignment doesn't look like Google Classroom. Google Assignments does. Google Drive Cloud Assignment, you can use SpeedGrader. There are no rubrics. Google Assignments has the built-in Google Classroom, the way you grade, and the way you do rubrics, the way you give feedback, all that stuff. Google Drive Cloud Assignment, you can use the SpeedGrader that's in Canvas. Google Drive Cloud Assignment, you only get to attach one thing per assignment. So you would need multiple assignments if you want to do multiple documents. Google Assignments, because it's basically Google Classroom version of assignments, you can attach multiple files for them to work on. They have the create button to create a document that puts their name on it, all that stuff, okay? I'm going to jump into Google Assignments for, no, we're doing Google Drive Cloud Assignments, sorry. Just like what happened earlier, sometimes this like will just stay white and I have to reload it. Okay, so we're going to do, I'm just going to make a copy of the FAQ doc. There it is, and submit. It's grayed out now, so it's saying, hey, you attach something with this external tool, click select. I'm going to scroll down, pick a due date real fast. Here's a little trick that drives me crazy. If I click save right now, the publish button at the top of my screen will be gone. Why? I don't know they do that, but they do. I don't know. So if you need to publish this, you have to come into this edit mode to click save and publish. You can also do it from the module view or from the assignments window. But if you're on this actual page, I don't know why the publish button just disappears, but it does. So I'm just going to click save and publish. And here's what it looks like. It's saying you've created an assignment. Every student will get a copy. I did not have to change share settings. It did it for me. There are two things about this window. My Google document is embedded, but it's super, super tiny. So technically a kid can edit it and or edit their copy here within the window, but see how tiny it is? So they can click right here on the blue link and open it into a new tab. And then from there, type and edit and do all that stuff. And when they're done, they come back here and click submit. So on their screen, they have, let's go to the next page. On their screen, whoops, too far. The only difference is they have this blue submit button. I love it because that is within Canvas. They have a submit button. Some people asked me about changes and edits. Remember in Google Classroom, when you attached a document, it's like it froze in time, and all the changes that had been made at that exact moment when you clicked submit and sent out that assignment, it made copies of everything. That is not true with this one. With this one, I can sit here in Canvas and make all the changes I want. The changes will go ahead and be made for the student version. What happens is I can make changes until a student opens the assignment. So I can, if Catherine was to go in as my student right now and open this document in this moment, she would get it as it is. 10 minutes later, I come in here and change something. Chris Goodson comes in and opens the assignment. He gets the new edits because he now gets this new copy with the edits that I've had. The copy's not made for a kid until they open the assignment. So that's good for some people who are going to want to attach assignment and not done working on it, and they haven't published it yet because they're going to publish it on Friday, and they're just going to keep working. They wanted to go ahead and have it kind of sitting here in Canvas. Okay, so that's Google Drive Cloud assignment, and you can see up here I've got my speed grader, but I'm missing, I can't scroll down and see the rubric to add a rubric. So just keep that in mind. That is that one. Let's do the other one. Okay. And I honestly lean towards all three of them. I don't have a preference. Depends on what you want to do. Let's see. Google Assignments. Looks like Google Classroom. Remember all of your amazing directions. Go up here at the top. Remember, we're going to, just like Google Classroom, title, description, scroll down. We're going to do an external tool again and click Find. This time we're doing Google Assignments. Watch what happens with this one. If you are a die-hard Google Classroom fan and you are sad or upset over losing it, this might make you really happy. Let me close out real fast because it's not. Oh goodness, you're gonna make me choose a due date. Okay. Sometimes it does go white like that, just like earlier with Google Drive. Maybe it's just not having it today with me. Okay, Google Assignments. Uh-oh, Catherine. Okay, good. It worked. Oh, okay.
Hey, Heather.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you your 5-minute warning.
Okay, thank you. All right, so click Continue. And, okay, look at this screen. Some of you die-hard Google Classroom fans might be really, really happy. This looks very similar. What's missing is the title and the description box. But remember, we already wrote that on Canvas. That's why those two boxes are missing. And then this is the stuff that was at the bottom of the assignment. So I can attach all the files that I want to, or I can not attach it. I can just leave it open. I can just create an assignment right now and have kids do where they would click Add or Create, just like in Classroom. I love that it forces it to say students will get a copy. So remember how many times people would forget to change that, and you would like create the assignment and then you'd be like, no, I didn't click that button. I got to start over. That won't happen with this. You can create your rubrics, due dates, points, all that's the same. I'm going to click Create. Give it a second. Just like before, it's grayed out. Scroll down. I'm going to save and publish it. Watch what happens on this screen. Once it loads, it's going to look very similar to Google Classroom. And it's going to say my students that have submitted it are going to pop up here. It's going to say how many submitted. Couple things about this. In Google Classroom, I would have been able to see all of my little kids' copies because it already would have made them. And I would be able to click on Johnny and go in and see him working. I can't do that with this. With this option, I have to wait until they turn it in for me to actually see their files and to see them working. With this option, in the previous one we did with Google Drive Cloud Assignment, it locks the file the second they turn it in, just like Classroom did. I'm going to jump over and show you what it looks like as a kid, because this is important. Remember, you have to put these things in, oh no, I can't look at it. I didn't, oh yes, I'm going to go in through Chris, sorry. No, I cannot go in this way. Oh, Catherine, I probably should have assigned you, never mind. I can go in through it. Yes, I can. What am I doing? This window. I was trying to figure out what I was doing. Okay, so this is, I'm a student in that class. And I called this one Google Assignments. Oh dear, there it is. Okay, I'm a student. This is what I see once it loads. This is where you've got to be very specific to kids. they can click this file right here, and then it opens and they get their copy and they can start typing. Tell your students to click open assignment because that is the window where they have the submit and turn in button. It is not on the Canvas window. You've got to make sure you tell your kids that because they're not going to think about it and do it. And then they're going to tell you they turned in their assignment because they're used to not always using the turn in button in classroom. Okay, so write in your directions, click open assignment. And in this window, this is where they can create more documents, add more files, or select the file that you gave them, whatever it may be. Only thing missing from that Google Classroom had, I don't have my turn in button, so I have to use this window to click submit. And they lose access as soon as they turn it in. On your side as a teacher, another little trick that you have to remember is that in order for the grade, let me go into that assignment really quick. I'm sorry, we're pushing close to the time. So I'm going to see that this person turned it in. And when I open to grade it, it looks exactly the way it did in Google Classroom. I've got all these buttons to grade and give feedback, click through all the students, give a grade. And here's the thing. If you don't click that return button and return the kid's assignment, this grade of a 50 will not appear in Canvas. It will save it here, so that's okay, but this 50 will not go from here to Canvas. So you have to click return. And when you click return, it will appear for the student in the Canvas grades for this assignment, okay? So that is the Google Assignments one. So there's 3 of them. So those are all the things that we were going to cover with Google and Canvas. And I know I tried to like rush there at the very end. Do you guys have any questions? Put it in the chat. Catherine, did you already put the sign-in sheet? Oh, yes, you did. Awesome. Okay. Make sure you sign in, and there is a box at the bottom of that where you can put questions, and we will email you the answers as quick as we can. So make sure you sign in. I'm also going to be doing this again 3 more times. We also recorded this. We've also got pictures and videos in the online module. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay right here and for probably another 30 minutes. So stay and ask your questions, and Catherine and I will help answer them to the best of our ability. But if you have signed in, then you are free to leave and get everything else ready for the beginning of the year.
Heather, there is a question. Loom and YouTube isn't playing in the module. And I'm wondering if it's just the way that it was embedded or inserted.
Really? That's interesting. Yeah.
Josh, who is your ITF?
I have to see it.
Or what school are you at? That's what I'm thinking, that you may need to get on a Google Meet with your ITF to share your screen.
I'm also wondering, are you in edit mode? Or are you in, did you like click save and then look at it from that like published preview view? Because you can't look at it in edit mode. Chris Goodson.
And it won't automatically play. You're going to have to actually click play. Same with your students. When they load that page, the video is not just going to start. They're going to actually have to click the video play button.
Right. Another good direction to write down to tell the kids.
Opening a separate screen. I wonder if you linked it, hyperlinked it instead of embedded it.
Josh, do you feel comfortable sharing your screen? Because we can walk you through that and take a look. Warlick is not up on pull down tab in the sign-in sheet. Ooh.
Okay, I'll fix it right now.
Okay, we'll get that for you. Good catch. We're sorry about that.
It may have accidentally been deleted because I know it was there.
I think, yeah, because I'm pretty sure it was there because someone had a question the other day. I remember emailing them. Yes. So once you get that sign in, you can put your questions on there for us. We will email you, but we are going to stay here and answer your questions. So let us know if you need anything.